Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney, and the month of March is finally over. You know, as well as I know, that the month of March was not kind to the Chicago Blackhawks at all. Yeah, they had a very tough schedule, but they also played very bad in a lot of those games. But guess what? They won their final game of that hellacious month. Let's talk about it. Question number 1. Will they be ready for the start of the game? No, they very much were not ready for the start of the game. That first period against the Carolina Hurricanes was absolutely horrendous. The Blackhawks were very lucky to get out of that period with it being scoreless. In just the first period, the shots on goal were 13-5 in favor of Carolina. And I think that was very generous in terms of the Blackhawks shots on goal, because I don't know that I saw 5 shots hit the goaltender. They were just plainly outskated, outplayed, clearly outshot. They looked like they were ready for a 7 o'clock start, but the game started at 6:30, so there's your problem right there. So no, they were not ready for the start of that game. Question number 2, can they get out of their own way? That's 2 for 2 on the answer being no. When I asked this question, it was because there were a few goals in the previous game that came off of a Blackhawks defender or off of a terrible turnover leading directly to a goal. And on Tuesday night, the only goal that the Carolina Hurricanes scored went off of Blackhawks defenseman Wyatt Kalynuk. It wasn't his fault, but it did go off of him and into the net, so no, they still cannot get out of their own way. Going off of that, this was Wyatt Kalynuk's second game in the NHL. He's been very impressive down in Rockford. He has one of the highest points percentages. He always just seems to rack up assists down there on the blue line, usually paired with Cody Franz, and I mean, points are gonna come. He typically sees top power play time. He gets a lot of responsibility down there, and he handles it very well, so I am happy for him that he is getting some NHL games. I would really like to have him back for Saturday when the Ice Hogs take on the Chicago Wolves again, who they have not beat all season, but we know for a fact that he is back in the Blackhawks lineup tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully no more pucks go in off of him. Sorry, Wyatt. Question number 3. Will Alex DeBrincat continue shooting the puck? Yes and no. In Tuesday night's game, the Blackhawks were outshot overall through 3 periods, 32-16. That is correct. Carolina got double the amount of shots that the Hawks did, but DeBrincat did have a goal, so he had to shoot that one. And it was the game-winning goal. The Blackhawks beat the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1. The first goal of the game came from brand new father Dylan Strome. He's got that dad strength. He had to get that new dad goal that seems to happen for a lot of guys around the league, especially a lot of guys that play for the Hawks. That's always a fun little thing to take away from a game. After that terrible first period that we already talked about and left behind us at the beginning of this video, Dylan Strome scored that first goal of the game 29 seconds into the second period. And Alex DeBrincat wasn't too far behind him on the power play. A little over 4 minutes into the period, he scored the second goal of the game. The Blackhawks had a 2-0 lead. They didn't look like they had any business having that kind of a lead or any lead at all over the Hurricanes, but they did. And that finished the scoring for the Hawks for the rest of the night. Andrei Svechnikov was the Carolina Hurricane who got them on the board with a little under 5 minutes to go in the second. Like I said, went off of Wyatt Kalynuk. Not a whole lot he could do. You can't blame the kid, but it was 2-1, and then they had to survive a whole nother period. And they did, because Kevin Lankinen is a Finnish monster. It just warms my heart how he is so good at having great bounce-back games. I knew he wouldn't be happy about the Hawks losing 2 in a row this weekend to Nashville. He did take one of the losses. Subban got the other one. But this dude's got a lot of pride, and he wants his team to win, and he wants to help his team win, and he was fantastic once again on Tuesday, especially in that first period. Thankfully, in the third, he only had to face 7 shots, but we all know that hockey just sometimes hockeys, and it's a game of inches and bounces and things happen, but the puck stayed out of the net in the final frame, and the Blackhawks got back into the win column to finish out the terrible month of March. So, what say you? Is that a good omen for the month of April? I guess we'll find out tonight because they kick off the April schedule against that same Carolina Hurricanes team. So here are my 3 questions. Question 1, will the Blackhawks be ready to start the game? You heard me right. That is the same exact question number 1 from the last video, because in the last game they were very much not ready to start the game. So will we see a difference tonight? Tonight's game does start at 7 o'clock, so if they were in fact ready for that 7 p.m. start, maybe this one will work better for them. Question 2, can they score the first goal of the game? On Tuesday night, they scored the first 2 goals of the game. But against this Carolina team, the Hawks definitely are going to want to score first, because it didn't happen on Tuesday, but Carolina can typically just score at will, and they are also a good defensive team. I don't know if we'll see Alex Nedeljkovic back in goal for the Hurricanes, but he was the at least rookie goaltender of the month for March. I believe he went 6-1-1. That's bonkers. So if they are facing him, they are going to want to get that first goal because it's clearly hard to score on him. And it's just always best for the team and for myself and my sanity if the Hawks are not chasing the game for the full 60. They've been fairly decent of tying up games this year, but then bounces go the other way, and sometimes immediately after the Blackhawks score, the opponent gets back on the board, has the lead again, and that's just purely deflating, and it's really hard to keep catching up and tying the game up each time the opponent takes the lead. So the Blackhawks would be a lot better off if they make Carolina do that. They're a lot better at scoring goals anyway. So the Blackhawks need all the advantages that they can get. Question 3, will Patrick Kane have a bounce back game? He did have the assist on DeBrincat's goal on Tuesday, because that's just what Patrick Kane does. He can have a terrible game, somehow he still gets a point out of it. But I believe that I read that he didn't even have a shot attempt in that one. And clearly, with the Hawks only registering 16 shots on goal, they're going to need some more of those. So it would be very nice if Patrick Kane could, have the puck on his stick, see the net in front of him, and just whip it at the net. Because a lot of times when he does that, good things happen. And we very much need good things to happen. I would love to kick off the month of April with a lot better karma than they did in March, where they had the lead over Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay won in overtime with less than a 1/10 of a second left. Yep, that's the game that kicked off March. We should have known how the month was going to go after that. So those are my 3 questions for tonight's game against the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Do you have any questions for this game? How about observations of the season as a whole? I would love to hear them. If you want to hear more from me or from Center Ice, you can head on over to FromCenterIce.com. Keep up with all the latest podcast episodes, game previews for the Hawks, recaps for the Ice Hogs, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Jacqueline and I just recorded a brand new podcast Tuesday night after that Blackhawks game. That went up yesterday, so you can listen to that wherever you stream your audio podcasts, or you can also find that here on the YouTube channel if you would like to watch us speak. In other fun news, Isaac Phillips signed his ELC with the Chicago Blackhawks. He was a 2020 5th-round draft pick. He's been playing defense for the Ice Hogs, and he's been one of the best surprises on the team so far. He's definitely one of my favorite players to watch. For a 19-year-old rookie defenseman, he has been beyond impressive. He's fun, he's got good speed for a big guy, he's got a good stick, he's got a great shot. He's not afraid to skate the puck into the zone on his own and get the puck to the net. He's a crafty guy, a big defenseman, and by all accounts, he's just a very nice dude. So, hand claps for Isaac Phillips. I am so happy for you. I can't wait to see you in the Blackhawks lineup whenever that may be, next year or whenever. In the meantime, I will very much enjoy watching him on the Ice Hogs. Oh, and if you are a social media person, you can follow us on all of those accounts as well. They're all linked down in the description. All of that being said, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Let's hope that the Blackhawks start out the month of April a lot better than they did March. We'll just have to wait and see. Go Ducks! Wait, that's not right. Go Hawks! There we go. Although I did kind of like that purple light back there. That looked pretty good. But I'll keep the red when talking about this team. I hope you all have a great April Fool's Day. I hope you don't get fooled by anything too bad or crazy. You know it's all in good fun over here at From Center Ice. So again, let's hope for a good game tonight, and I will catch you all after this one. Bye, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button to catch more From Center Ice content. If you could, hit the like button on this video, maybe share it with a friend or two. And while you're here, check out the podcast playlist and catch up on some old episodes. We will catch y'all next time. Bye!